What is up, folks? Right there in the intro, you saw some real world examples of me using this entire set of classic soft filters from Schneider. The reason why I chose, you saw each one of those focal lengths in different levels of filtration. That's kind of the textbook way of using filtration. Usually like a quarter or an eighth you see on wider focal lengths, and then the higher grades of filtration like a 1 or a 2 you tend to see on longer focal lengths. So that's the explanation behind, you know, like for instance using the eighth on the 21 mil. Now let's look at them side by side with no filtration. So here in the first setup, you're looking at the classic Zeiss ZF2 21mm f2.8 lens. On the left side there is no filter being used, and on the right side we have a 8th classic soft. Now let's jump in and look here with the Contax Hollywood lens, the 28mm f2. And the left side, there's no filtration, and on the right side, we used a quarter classic soft. And now here we have the 35mm Contax Zeiss with a half of classic soft. And now we threw a classic soft 1 on the 50mm Contax Zeiss. And here you're looking at the classic soft 2 on the 85mm Contax Zeiss. If you're interested in seeing some of the lighting setups done on that, stay tuned for at the end of the video. I'll show you how I did a little bit of the lighting breakdown, just a little bit of the BTS on that slider shot with the 35 and the 50mm. However, I did take some inspiration from one of Deacon's little latest masterpieces, the Goldfinch, and here you'll see a side-by shot here of where I got the inspiration for these shots. But now let's jump in at the actual kind of more formal lighting test. So here you're looking at no filtration, just running straight off of the Contax MMJ 50mm f1.4 lens. I call it the Razor. Keep in mind we are using the Metabones Cinelock Ultra, that is the 0.71 times speed booster. And also keep in mind, no real color grading was done on any of these shots, not even in the intro, just normal color corrections. When I say that, I'm talking just, you know, just boosting the contrast and the saturation a little bit, but no actual grade has been done, okay? Okay, so here you're just looking at straight up what that Contax Zeiss looks like with no filtration. And now you'll see what happens when we drop an 8th classic soft into the matte box. And now we're gonna drop in a quarter classic soft into the matte box. We're replacing the 8th with a quarter. Now, as we level up in filtration here with this classic soft, I want you to pay attention to the halations, you know, what's going on with the practical sources in the shot. You'll notice some glowing, or otherwise known as halation, happening around the actual practical light sources, like with the little fairy lights and things, okay? But also pay attention to what it's doing to my skin tones. Let's swap out the quarter classic soft with a half classic soft on this 50mm lens. And now we're going to swap out the half for a 1. And now swapping out the 1 for the 2 classic soft. Now, if you guys follow the channel, you know I am a huge fan of the Hollywood Blackmagic filter. That is another filter made by Schneider. I picked it up about a year ago, and ever since picking up that Hollywood Blackmagic, I have not touched the Black Pro Mist. It hasn't even come out of the case. And I usually use it on every single shoot. So first up, the one that I know most people are gonna be curious of, we're gonna compare the quarter Hollywood Blackmagic to the quarter Classic Soft. And now more of the more overly used Black Pro Mist from Tiffin. We're gonna look at a quarter Black Pro Mist next to the quarter Classic Soft. We're gonna take a look side by side of the half digital diffusion next to half Classic Soft and see which one we like. Okay, so now we're gonna take a peek at one of my latest favorite little filters here. This is the Tiffin Soft Net. This soft net is actually the strongest soft net you can get. It wasn't until later on that I realized, holy cow, this is a 3. So this is like the heaviest soft net you could go with. So it's very pronounced. So we're gonna compare this Tiffin Soft Net 3 to the Classic Soft 2. And then the last diffusion filter we're gonna compare the Classic Softs to is my fog filter. This is a quarter fog. I picked this up because I just found this pretty interesting, kind of like a hobo version when you don't have a hazer, you know, to kind of help with that, kind of give it a fog look. So we're gonna compare this quarter fog to the quarter Classic Soft. So let me know down in the comments below what filter you think would be the go-to. If you had to buy just one of these, which one it would be and why, or none of these. If there's a filter here that I don't have, please, by all means, let me know. I do know that Osman over on the DogTimes Patreon, he's a big fan of black satin, and I do love what black satin does to the skin tones, but I am not a fan of the halation effects with the practical lights when it comes to the black satin. But if you know some other really decent ones, that is kind of, you know, the reason why I like the Classic Soft so much is because it maintains that wonderful smoothing out of the skin tones without, you know, doing some crazy stuff with the practical or any highlights in the shot. You know, it doesn't cause that heavy halation like what we see with the Hollywood Blackmagic or the black satin. So yeah, let us know down in the comments below what you think. Hey, if you're a fan of the channel and like to support, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first and easiest way is to just hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so you get the latest videos as soon as they're dropped. But if you want to go above and beyond that and be a part of a daily filmmaking conversation, then I invite you to join the DogTimes community over on Patreon. That is where once a week I release an exclusive members-only video breaking down projects, talking gear, and sharing insider industry tips and tricks, things that I just would never be allowed to release on YouTube. But my favorite part about the Patreon is the conversations happening over on Discord. That is where you will be connected with like-minded filmmakers and have instant access to learning ways to improve your own skills so you feel more confident about working on set as a professional. So welcome to the DogTimes community, and I'll chat with you soon.